Okay, I want to go ahead and take a moment to highlight the student examples created by real students from last semester, so the real deal, identities withheld of course, but real students. So let me go ahead and click on this first one. Now this student, she decided to look at the body positivity movement, particularly with social media and how that interacts with that particular movement, and so that's what her topic is. So this annotated bibliography all collects sources that deal with that particular topic, and these were all incorporated into her research paper. So you'll notice that she had it formatted according to MLA guidelines. I changed just a couple of details to hide her identity, but so the normal heading as you would any MLA format document, followed by the title. So in this case, hers is in quotation marks because it's a phrase that was borrowed from one of the sources she used. And then we have colon, and then she includes her subtitle, which in this case is just Annotated Bibliography number 1. That explains what this particular document is. And then immediately she follows it with the first source that she annotates. So she has the first element, which is the bibliographic information according to MLA guidelines, just as it would appear on any normal works cited page. But you'll notice now that she has her annotation directly underneath that. So the next element is this paragraph here, which is a brief but detailed summary of the source. So in this particular paragraph, she talks about the main point of this source, how the writer supports the source or supports the argument, what sort of details, key details are included in there. And this is it's specific, so it's clear that this student read the source carefully. She understood the source, and is very familiar with it. After that, she has her assessment of the source, where she talks about the value of the source, so what points or ideas are valuable within this particular source. And then immediately after that, she has her brief indication of how she plans to use this source in her paper, or how it connects to some of the other ideas or other sources that she's found for this topic. So all of this right here is at least 250 words in length. You can write more, of course, but it at least should be that length, just to make sure that we're being thorough enough. So then she skips a line, and then she includes her next source with the same elements. So she has her publication information, she has her brief but detailed summary of the article or the source, followed by her brief assessment of the source, and then of course how she plans to use this source or how it fits into her research project. And then finally she has her third source, doing the same thing with the same elements, just with that particular source. And you'll notice that she organized it in alphabetical order according to the author's last names, just as you would in a normal works cited page. So this is approximately what your annotated bibliography should look like. So let me go ahead and take a look at the second student example. So this student was researching mental health issues concerned with marriage. So it was a very interesting topic. She took the same approach. This was a phrase from one of her sources, so that's why it's in quotation marks, followed by annotated bibliography. She has her publication information. Now this particular annotation, this entry, the student has all the key elements, but they're sort of a little lopsided. I would prefer you guys to add more detail in the summary and the assessment versus adding it all in your indication of how you plan to use the source. Now based on this, it's clear that the student understood the source, she read the source carefully, but these are a little lacking. So I think in yours you want to make sure that the proportions are a little bit different. A little bit more up here, a little less down here. Now the student did the same thing with organizing it in alphabetical order. She has her next source, publication information, followed by the summary, followed by the assessment of the source, followed by how she plans to use it, and then the same thing with this one. So again, make sure that your annotations, each one is at least 250 words in length, minimum. You can go more, but at least that, just to make sure that we're being thorough enough. And yeah, that's how approximately yours should look.